Just wandered out, ended up by the pool?
Something like that. We'll never know exactly what happened.
She was down there by herself.
You haven't spoken with your father yet, have you?
No, not yet. The way you say that. What's going on, Lily?
Unbeatable drama in The Bold and the Beautiful tonight at 6 on SABC1. Mzansi for sure.
Catch all the drama and action as Thanda Royal Zulu face Bay United in the National First Division semi-final playoffs. Saturday, 11 June at 12. My Game is on the home of soccer for sure.
For sure.
Welcome back. Usabukele ilungelo lakho. It's your right. Your consumer show coming to you live on SABC1 Mzansi for sure. Let's go to our first caller in KwaZulu-Natal in Devon. Sipho, welcome to the show.
Yes, miss.
Yeah, Nijani Sipho?
I'm calling January.
Siyaphila.
Hayi sisi mina uyazi ukuthini ngowami umbono bengibona ngathi mhlawumbe kungangcono mhlawumbe uma ngabe ama DVD mhlawumbe ethukwehlishwa kancane ngoba labantu abasemgaqweni babona la be strong futhi ngicabanga ukuthi abaculi iningi imali abayiluzayo uma ngabe ukuthi azokuthuka ama DVD 80 rand 90 rand ayibona nto sisi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sipho, for your contribution. And Sipho is touching on another issue, music piracy. And firstly, is SAMRO involved in these awareness campaigns that are attempting to fight music piracy?
We very much support the pain. The pains of the musician and the campaigns of the department. Yeah. It's a big issue. It's a major issue facing artists.
Yeah. And Sipho is saying, isn't it because the music, the legitimate music that you get off stores is too expensive, and that is why people resort to buying fake CDs and, you know?
That's largely a problem for record companies, so I don't want to speak too much on behalf of record companies.
Okay.
The major company that looks after piracy in the music business is the recording industry of South Africa, RISA. But the Department of Trade and Industry, under the Deputy Minister, I'm not sure of her name now, they are also waging the war against piracy. It's a big issue when you as an artist put your blood, sweat and tears into a recording.
And
that
then
recording costs money.
The
recording costs money. The marketing of that recording costs money. The distribution of that recording costs money. And all those, the packaging money, the artwork costs money. And all of that goes into the price of a CD. And somebody comes around as a pirate, they don't pay for the artwork. They don't pay for the recording time. They don't pay for the mechanical rights. And they just reproduce it. It's theft.
Yeah, it's
if you steal someone's car, it's regarded as theft. I think more and more we need to clamp down heavily on piracy. Piracy is theft, it's illegal, and our government needs to do more about it. But that's one aspect. Physical piracy is just one aspect. One of the problems is the copyright legislation. Digital piracy is what's going to start to happen and hit this country in the future. Currently, your big providers are not paying for the music that's being downloaded. A lot of the websites across the globe is pirating South African music. You get it for free. If we don't tie up the copyright legislation, you won't protect the new revenue stream.
Okay, let's go to Sizwe in Wavuma. Sizwe, welcome. Siyaphila Nijani?
Siyaphila nathi. Nasi ngithangiphaule lana ngendaba yelokhuza yakwaSAMRO. uSAMRO kahle sithi inkampani eyayenziwe amabhunu mawunayo. Inkampani iSAMRO uma uzofcela ama-forms, kunama-form abangakunikezi wona. Bakunikeza nje ama-forms awuvucu. Bese kuthi lawa akuyona akhokhelayo. Bangakunikezi wona. And babakunikezile imali yakhona ime ndawonye kuba 3,500 ayizi ifike ko-4,000 noma 5,000. Imanje lapho noma ungadlalwa kangakanani imali lapho-ke indaba seSAMRO-ke leyo David.
Okay, are you an uyi-artist? This is
yeah,
remember yeSAMRO.
Okay, ngiyabonga.
Okay, thanks. Sizo is a SAMRO member, and his complaint is that he's never received more than 4,000. He's a member, he's an artist, he's never received more than 4,000, despite the little time that he gets as an artist.
Okay. Can you also complain about the forms?
Yeah, you want to explain that? Yeah, please, can you explain?
Well,
and we back and guess
complain ngama-form, angazi ama-form akhona ukuthi anjani. Naye akazange sachaza ukuthi ama-form akhuluma ngakuthi anjani.
Yeah.
If you because
what
kind of forms that he's talking about.
Okay.
But firstly, you have to be a member, and then you have to notify works, because SAMRO won't be able to do their work if works are not notified and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I'm sure you can expand on that.
Let's take Cindy in Tembisa before we do that. Cindy, welcome to the show.
Okay, what's the problem, King?
King.
I'll see. Libona kwa mo ba rekisang teng music ne ba rekisetsa di phone call that's how create re reka di phone call tsela tsa go strato.
Okay.
Ke ne ka reka di ticket tse ithuti na di tsona ka mo ntlong tsa gospel ya mathomo email ya wini ba shaba ya boithu ya Kenny.
And now we hutlisa mo store ba reng? How we hutlisa morago ba reng?
To create one more center ya mo Tembisa ba kwale mo ba rekisang teng music.
Okay.
Jale ho khutlela mra go storm o mitrend tšhelete za ka bana le yona.
Okay. Okay.
Tshwantse di bona ba shebe di bona batho ba ba rekisetsa music ba rekisetsa phone call ka so re reka tsetsa 10 rand.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Cindy. If we can. Yeah, she's talking about piracy, that you will actually find a fake CD in a legitimate shop. And I think it was an issue a few years ago.
We had reliable music, and we complained way back that reliable music, we suspected that they were copying music. Notified the authorities, and reliable music doesn't exist anymore. So, on the other hand, I think there needs to be a symbiotic relationship between South African Police Service and the Ministry of Trade and Industry regarding piracy, because some of the police officials need to be educated regarding piracy. I mean, you can drive around the corner here, you will find guys selling CDs.
And it's not treated as a serious crime, and it is theft. But the police are not as vigilant as they are.
The thing is, do they know or do they not know? They need to be educated.
Yeah.
So,
I find it difficult to say that people don't know. You drive out of the SPC, you turn a corner, and someone's selling a pirated copy of music, a pirated DVD. I think the problem is not necessarily not knowing. I think the problem is the authorities doing something about it.
Okay.
They get manufactured somewhere. They get sold on the streets.
Yeah.
So they need to be confiscated, and people probably need to be arrested. So we treat it as theft.
Okay.
On the other issue about Depot and his royalty income being quite limited, and as I explained earlier, it's an individual case. One has to know, okay, what songs have you got, Sipho? Which radio station have they played on? And then once you figure out which songs you have as an individual SAMRO member, where they've been performed, did that radio station send us the returns so that we know that your music has been performed? Did you notify the work properly so that we can trace the sound as well? So I explained it in a very simple way, but it's quite complex. He needs to not only be a member, not often, but sometimes we find that a member has produced a new work but hasn't notified us that this work exists. So we get the return and we get the revenue, but we can't disperse the work until we know whose work it is. On the other hand, and I don't necessarily want to point fingers at any broadcaster, but there's also a problem sometimes with the returns that we receive. You don't receive correct returns, or you don't receive them on time, and therefore payment isn't made appropriately. So it's important as a composer, and especially as a performer, that your music is performed at the correct radio stations so that you can see that revenue. And when you don't see the revenue, is to give us a call and to say, it's not, why is my revenue so low? It used to be a bit higher in the past. Often members don't call us when the revenue is high,
Yeah, they do.
So they mainly call when the revenue is low.
Okay, let's welcome Joe in Pretoria. Hi, Joe. Okay, we seem to have lost Joe. Musa, you keep on talking about you need to notify your work. What does that mean? Let's explain it to an artist out there who's composed something and is expecting money from SAMRO and is wondering why is anything from SAMRO.
Firstly, I think for me it's important to explain that the music is, from my perspective, is two-pronged. There's fame and there's money. Sometimes fame and money don't go together. There are artists that you don't know who make millions from writing music for the news, for an example.
Yeah.
So most artists want fame. Sometimes fame doesn't, unlike in the States and other first world countries and stuff like that, where artists, I think some are well informed, or they know that they should take certain contracts to lawyers before they sign. You find here that everybody wants to get famous. Everybody wants to be seen on stage. Most of the artists want to be celebrities and stuff like that, but it doesn't come with money in most cases.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Most artists that I know who are making good revenue are artists who own their own publishing companies, who write library music, which is used for television, for movies, for commercials, for jingles and other stuff. So we should not have that thinking that music is only about performing. There's performers and there's creators, or composers and stuff like that. You know?
Okay, let's take a quick ad break for now. We'll continue after this.
This week on Gospel Gold, we celebrate Youth Day with the youth of our nation. Energy levels run high as we joined in studio by vibrant Banele and Nijwela Muteo. Then the youth continued to show us how it's done with awesome videos. And meet our fabulous debut artist. That's Gospel Gold, Sunday at 9 a.m. only on SABC 1.
Yes, oh yes, oh yes. Alarm system ha tla ba necessary. Can I dipodcast tsaka?
I hope we can buy this better, right?
Belo vai ulandi bombos Spain influence.
I'll bankroll with you. For that, on another 25%.
What? Ngende. Papa, spinach. Okay.
Uthengwe ubaba lo mntana ocela unina.
Utshwanetse go lela tsofoke. Ga ke rene o tsere dijana tsa gago. Ya no o batla go tsaya ngwana wa gago.
Shan Ali brings you the all-new Crew vs. Crew, featuring some of the freshest crews competing for a massive 10,000 Rand every episode.